You're talking to the Rolex.
Yeah. Diamond ring work. Woo! Kiss stealing.
Woo! Wheeling dealing. Limousine riding.
Woo! Now give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Gentlemen, welcome back to another awesome episode of the Y Chromo Zone. One thing that's plain to see, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Guys, we're going to talk about that moolah. Dude, that money, the Skrilla, the cake, the coins, the fatty. You may or may not need to take notes on this, my dudes. May or may not. Wink, wink. Let's get into it, dude.
There are massive federal programs that were instituted in the late 1970s that pay states trillions of dollars to tear families apart. Like in Texas, we get 66 cents on the dollar put into the Texas Treasury for every dollar of child support that's paid. So the state is now highly incentivized to issue the maximum amount of child support. That's why almost all divorces got 50-50 prior to the 1980s, and there was this skyrocketing of divorces where one parent loses custody, and that was to maximize Title IV-D reimbursements to the states. In Texas, it's $500 million.
Dudes, I have one thing to say about this. Choose your women wisely, and most importantly, dudes, be careful about where you shoot your Jews, dude.
To the Texas budget.
If the state is profiting off of child support?
Correct. And in most states, the Judicial Retirement Fund is funded from this money. So the more child support that's issued from the family courts, the larger the judicial retirement. It's a massive program. It's the size of the largest defense programs. So the incentives are absolutely huge.
To get people to pay child support?
Correct.
Even married people, to get them to break up and then have to pay each other child support?
Absolutely, yeah. So, because you would think the best child support would just be 50-50 custody and let people raise their kids. The best child support is to raise your own kid. That's the best child support. But they don't do that. Most states actually have laws prohibiting the courts from doing that.
Hey, Adolfo, what happens if I pay a collection?
So whenever you pay off a collection, they update the balance to 0, but they still leave the negative mark on your credit report, which still hurts your credit scores. Unless you get a pay for delete letter, which is documentation they send you before you pay it off, saying that they'll remove it from your report after it's paid off.
Have you seen this going around online where you can now say, Alexa, thanks my driver, and tip your driver? You need to know that that's not Amazon being nice. They're not treating their drivers better. This is in response to a lawsuit against them. I'm Paige Sparks. I'm an employment attorney, and I love suing Amazon because they don't care about the law at all. I'll give it to Amazon. This is very clever how they have framed this. If you say, Alexa, thank my driver, it will tip your last delivery driver $5. This sounds especially nice because the tip is at no additional cost to the customer. While this sounds nice, it's actually in response to a investigation by the FTC and a lawsuit alleging that Amazon has kept delivery drivers tips for over 2 years. The investigation was launched because the way it was framed showed customers that they were tipping their driver, making them think they were compensating more as gratitude when actually that money was going all to Amazon. Amazon has already paid over $61 million to 140,000 drivers. Don't be fooled by this publicity stunt. Stealing from workers is theft, so if your employer ever messes with your compensation, your tips, or your wages in any way, talk with a local lawyer. Follow me to learn more about your right to work.
There's another loan that people need to be aware of, and it's called an FHA 203K. And what that means is you can purchase a property and make improvements on the property into the future, and they'll loan you money to purchase the house plus make those improvements. Of course, you got to go through the correct documentation, what all needs to be done, estimates and that sort of thing before they can close it. Then you have to show proof that those items were done. But this will allow you to purchase a property and then make improvements after the fact. This works really good if you're purchasing a foreclosure. They will appraise it based on the current value and the improved value. But this way you can purchase a property that maybe it's in a great area but it's not in great condition, and you don't have to pull cash out of pocket or have savings or reuse credit cards.
This is our $1 million side hustle. We scan clearance.
Dudes, I know. You're welcome. Just thank me later.
Items with our Amazon seller app and find products items like this one at $7 profit on each item. Then we ship the items to Amazon and collect our money, stack that cash.